Rocking some scrap mechanic. Let's see what we got here. None of that matters. Rocking some scrap mechanic. Let's see what we got here.
Keep them on a little bit longer.
Got it. Better get on TS here. This is getting ridiculous.
Connected.
Keep it born. Hello.
Hello. Click on the link that I just posted, Q.
It says your friend's not online.
What?
Yeah. This is dumb. I don't like it.
We'll start a game and then
I don't know
start a
how.
Monopoly game. Go to all
These
games
guys are crazy.
and then click on board games on the left. And then Monopoly pops up right at the top. Click
Oh.
play
Okay.
and then click play people.
Gotta start playing some people.
And then there's a link down here. This says invite someone to play with you. Copy that and paste it.
Disconnected.
Alright, fuck that shit. Let's sweat out the basics here. Alright. Keeping it basic. Q, digital rotation. Click and drag with your left mouse button to make any shape you want. Bam, easy peasy. I find the easiest way to show anyone anything is just to build something, so I'm gonna do that. Your left click is to create, right click deletes, and you click drag with both of them. What I'm going to do is just build a simple car here, and I'm going to show you guys how this works. So, keep in mind Q is your rotation. It's also my push to talk, which is why I got out of TeamSpeak, so as not to annoy people with random bits of talking. So first things first, you're going to place down a lift. That's this one here. That just lets you basically build anything you want. Using your up and down directional keys, you can raise and lower the lift. But anything you build onto it, it's going to be stuck to it. It's also good when your vehicle flips, but I'll show you that later when the time comes, which, believe me, I'll do it. So again, we're going to use Q here. Make sure we're sideways. And let's just draw out a base for our car. So let's say that. I'm going to use wood because it's the only light thing we have right now. So again, using the lift, if I want to reposition this. Oh shit, what have I done? I always get confused with this crap. Delete it, pick it back up, and the lift will be placed in the middle of the object. It just makes it easier for what we're doing. Up and down. Pretty basic stuff. So first thing I want to do is put my seats in, just so I can get an idea of how wide my vehicle has to be. I like to have that one off to the side. And I like to have my seat in the middle. So that's the one seat, and we change in our backpack here all the items. You can see there's quite a few right now, but they're adding more as we speak, really. So that's always good. I like my baby duck. So I need the secondary seat, which is this one, because I don't need two with controls. So let's pop that one down there. And it looks like my vehicle's got to be one more. So let's click and drag. Now it's even. Beauty. So I'm going to want to add a motor to this, so let's add that in the front. It's technically not really the right direction. You want that in the front. Well, you don't have to have it. It's just aesthetic. But I'm going to do it anyways, because that's what I like. Alright. So here's just the basics of a vehicle, but we're going to need wheels, we're going to need everything. So let's raise this bad boy up. And first things first, I want to put the wheels in. So for me, I like to use a bearing on the bottom, and that's just to allow the vehicle to turn, which is actually kind of important. So put a bearing on each side, and then out of the bearing, I'm going to put 2 or 3, it's really up to you. I'm going to do 2, I think 2 is good. And then again, bearings on the outside. So anything with the bearing just gives that, whatever's attached to it, the ability to turn. And you'll see what I mean in just a second here. Tires, automatic, don't have to worry about rotating. As long as they're on a bearing, they're going to work. So basically, any bearing like this, it's not attached to anything, it's just going to be free flowing. So it'll turn basically anywhere you want, and it's not going to do much. In the back here, I'm going to put some wheels as well. Actually, we're going to give ourselves a bit more room. I'm actually going to make a truck here. The truck is a good thing to make. It really shows you everything that the game has to offer in just a basic way. But using the skills you'll learn here, you can make pretty much anything, and really, you know, the sky's the limit. It's a really great creative game. It has a lot of promise. So let's say this is our vehicle here. We could drop it right now. There we go. And as you can see, this turned. They kind of just turn whichever way they want right now. So using this connection tool now, we're going to see. And the beauty thing about this is you can see through the entire thing. Like, I don't have to be on the other side of the vehicle to operate this bearing in the back here for that tire. But basically all we're going to do is we're going to try and set it up now so that when we turn the steering wheel, it's going to turn the wheels. So these bearings are just free. We don't worry about those because they're just allowing the tires to spin. Click and drag from the steering wheel. And now we've got it locked into these. They're going to straighten right out, as you can see. And if I hit E now, obviously they're backwards because I'm turning left right now. And right, so it just allows you to control those bearings. Pretty cool, huh? But we need them to go the other way. So what you do is just right click them, both those bearings. Now, turn left, turn right, everything works. It's beautiful. So let's put a few more, might be a little too far. Considering I actually want this to look somewhat like a truck. So let's put this back on the lift just so it doesn't go rolling away on us. And let's add in some of our other parts. So starting here, let's say that. And again, we just click and drag. Easy peasy. Now this is the part where I did this a bit differently last time, but I want to try and put a grill in here, which I'm going to try and use this ventilation grid. Just seems like the right thing. So let's put that over top of the cement, which we're not going to use the cement right now. Again with the wrong size. Oh well, not a big deal. I feel like we're going to have to move those wheels back, but we'll do that after. Just making the bed of the truck here, and because I like to show you guys things, I'm going to put a bearing in just the one side. Don't need to put it on both sides. Let's go 3 high. So now, using this bearing, anything I attach to it is going to be movable. So what I'm going to make here is a tailgate that automatically operates, just to show how things work. So the important thing is that you don't click one by one by one. You can do that as long as you click and attach it to the one that's attached to the bearing, it's fine. But if I say clicked here and I'm facing against the sidewall, that's not going to operate with this bearing. So I find the easiest thing to do is just click on the bearing and make the entire shape, whatever you want, make it. Rah! Alright, I'm just going to get rid of this engine and reposition it after, but for now, put that there, and I can put then some buttons on. So there's two different kinds of buttons you can use. There's also a sensor, but that just... I'll show you that later. Not a big deal. The button, basically, anytime you push it, it operates. The switch operates just continuously after you switch it. So I'm going to use the switch because that's what I want for this, and you'll see why in a moment here. And let's just put it over here on top of this, and it really doesn't matter where you put it. Any of this stuff will work. If I put it here or back there, let's put it down here actually, why not? And let's put two buttons in because I'm also going to do one for the side doors here. So put the bearing in the pivot point. We want the doors to open out like this, so the bearing's going to be there, and that's going to allow the doors to open like that. You know, I may want to use a different object here just so I can show you the difference. Let's see if there's anything else that's lightweight. That's kind of dumb, but sure, let's use that. Just so I can show you guys what's going on here. So let's say this is our door. Again, we click and start on the bearing and drag out. So to operate these, we're going to need to connect the button to our steering wheel. We can just operate it like this, but if we're in our driver's seat, we're not going to be able to operate that. So to do that, we use our connection tool again. And from the driver's seat, we're going to click and drag over to the button. And what that's going to do, that. Sorry there. What that's going to do is give us a number, if it's connected correctly, which it wasn't there. There we go. So now number 1. So that means that using our number key, number 1, is going to operate that button. But what do we want to do when we operate that button? We want to rotate these out, both of them. Now if I just connected now this button to this pivot here, it's not going to do anything. It's just going to turn the button on and that's it. So what we need to use now is a controller. And this basically just operates any bearings. And it only works on bearings. But I'm going to put a few in here just because I might use more than one. So now from this button, we're going to run it into one of these controllers. So now when we hit number 1, it's going to operate this controller. This controller, now we drag into the bearing points we want to operate. So it's going to be this bearing point and this bearing point. The arrows on here are pretty straightforward, but you know, at first I did not really understand what was going on. I just kind of did it trial and error. Basically, depending which way you want it to go, you're either going to adjust the degrees rotation to the red or to the blue, which is the negative or positive rotation. So for this one it's going to be blue, and for this one here we want it to rotate out that way, so it's going to be red. And again, number 1 and number 2 correspond to this controller, the purple. It's all connected. It makes a lot of sense. It looks confusing already, but trust me, it makes sense. So I'll just show you now with this. So number 1, we're using the blue one, and here they are, number 1, number 2, and you can set up to 8 different rotations for them. So there's many different things you could do. You could have it open and shut like crazy if you wanted, but we don't want to do that. So first off, we're going to go blue, and let's say, what, 60 degrees? Why not? And the other one's going to go 60 degrees the other direction because it's opening the other way. So just show you what that does. I'll sit in the driver's seat and I'm going to hit 1, and that's going to flip this switch. So now I hit 1, and nothing happens. Because I screwed something up. What did I goof? Oh yes, and also right-clicking, you can change all of these as well, directionally. But let's quickly get our wood and try this again here. Oh, you know what? I know why it doesn't work. Ah, so dumb. That's good that that happened actually, because I can tell you why it didn't work, and it makes perfect sense. It's because it's still on the jack. As long as you're on your lift, it's not going to work. So I have to delete the lift, raise it up above the ground first, delete the lift. It's an ugly looking truck, I know. But now when I hit 1, there we go. Everything works. Doors open. That was funny. Alright, well now we know. So same thing here, we're going to set up the next controller then. You could also set it up in the same one. If I wanted to do that, I could just drag it another connection from here into this one. And so let's say I wanted to do that. I'll open these doors and then I'll open the tailgate. So to do that, I'm going to obviously go this way, so I'm going to go to the red. And then I use the second one. So after it does this, it'll open the tailgate. We want it to open 90 degrees that way. So now when I do this, these open, then the tailgate opens. Turn it off, and it goes the exact opposite way. But just to make it different, I'm going to disconnect this. You disconnect by just going over the same connection once more, and it'll disconnect. That's the same for anything. And then this time I'm going to drag from the driver's seat to the second button. So that's number 2. Number 2 is going to drive out to this one. Oops, sorry. My mistake. Number 2 is going to go to this controller. And this controller is going to go out to this one. So now that's number 1 on the second controller I have here. So again, it goes the same direction. And we want it to go 90 degrees. So now I have number 1. Doors open and close. Number 2, tailgate opens. Why not? You know what? I should actually move that down 1 to there. Let's do that. Then I can also use the right. So move the bearing down 1, and then I'm going to use the construction back again, just so you can see which parts are meant to move. So again, from the controller into this bearing, and we're going to go red. So to the left, 90 degrees. Just double check that it's working again. Number 2. Yeah, now it opens up nice and flat. Beautiful. And I could even open it up more if I wanted to allow someone to drive into the back. I could drop it right down so that it's riding on the ground. Then, say my friend with the little car or whatever could drive right into the back of it. That's just an option. Probably want a bigger vehicle to do that though. So let's get the engine back in here. Beauty. And then, let's see, what can we use? Let's see this fits. Okay, so that only attaches that way, so that's not going to work. Wonder, oh, okay, I can do it that way. So maybe that will work. Nothing wants to work for me right now. Oh, that's not bad. I don't know why, I just like to have that open. I think it looks sharp. And this is going to be a bit annoying to get into right now, so let's just let's make a step. Old lady step, why not? Haha. So basically the engine works pretty straightforward as well. You just connect it to the steering wheel, and then we're going to connect it to the wheels that we want the engine to run. So this connects our W and D, or sorry, W and S, or forwards and backwards buttons, to the engine from the steering wheel. And then we're going to run them into our bearings. One there, one over here, and if we want to do four-wheel drive, put them into all four. So the only thing now is you got to make sure they're all facing the right way. You don't want the wheels turning opposite directions. Oh god. We're good to go. Oh, you know what? We're not good to go. Also got to use the engine. Turn up the power. Let's turn it up to there. There we go. That's going to happen a lot. Until you get it all figured out and balanced, it's going to happen a lot. To get it back upright, we use lift again, pop it down, and then delete it. Easy. And you know what? I want to move these wheels. So let's say we want to do that. We're just going to delete everything. And lift it up. And let's put the wheels in the back a bit more. We could even put them right next to the thing if we want, but we want to have match. So let's drop it down to. And again, bearings, just allowing our wheels to turn. Wheels. And then we use our connection tool, connect from the engine to our tires, and make sure it's facing the right direction. After we did that, jump on in. This is one ugly truck, but it works. Oh, shit. Oh. I'm down. Oh, balls. That happens a lot too. Be careful not to right click. I do that on my steering wheel all the time, and then you lose all your connections. Oh man. Let's do some aesthetics. That's right. Okay. While I'm in here, I'm going to grab the radio. Oh boy, I need another button. just an ugly truck. I feel like I could have done a way better job in this, but too late now. So we figure out there. Unfortunately, this is the only angle piece they have right now, and it's kind of heavy, so it'd be nice when they get, like I say, some more pieces added. Different weights, different textures, because obviously you don't want to make every truck you make out of wood. Same thing going for any other vehicle, right? But it's coming. They're working on some decorative stuff right now, but hopefully they'll get back onto actually like I could also make the hood go up if I wanted to. Why not? Let's do that. Just to drive home, really, all the concepts. So again, we're going to click and drag off of that bearing. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. And I want to put lights in. Almost looks like a truck. Almost. Not really, but almost. So let's run our connections. Let's just say operate the tailgate, and it's also going to operate this one. So again, we're going to the blue. Oh my god. How am I going to find this now? It's going to be really... Nope, switches on the left. Of course. No. So you should do this before you're done, obviously. And again to the red. Let's make it go up 60 degrees. There we go. Oh, on the lift again. Keep forgetting that. Oh, this is one busted ass looking truck. I like it. So one operates our doors, 2 operates the tailgate, and I operated that one wrong. So just to make it easy, let's flip it like that. There we go. Now the hood opens, tailgate drops. We're ready to rock in our little crapmobile. Toss on some tunes. Oh, this is beauty. Haven't flipped over yet. Oh, shit, it's close. Anyways, that's the basics. Just for posterity, let's go over it one more time. But just really simple. Okay, so show you a button, or a switch, sorry. Show a button. Over here we'll do a sensor. Oops. Oh, wrong again. There it is. And is there anything else? Not really. Okay, so just to make it simple, I'm going to show you using... Actually, this will just show how everything works using jets, because I like these. And I guess there's only 3. So, and we'll do it from a seat. Why not? I think we can actually do it from... Which makes it nice if you make a 2-person vehicle, you can actually have somebody else operating the other parts of the vehicle without having to have control of left and right. So let's say from this vehicle, I'm going to run out to here, that's number 1. That's going to be number 2, and that doesn't have a number because it's just a sensor. So 1's a switch, 2 is a button, and then 3, let's run it to both of these, why not? That's the thing, you can also run these out to multiple different jets or whatever you want to use. So just to show you the sensor real quick, all I gotta do is stand in front of it. And it's gonna, I believe it's up to 8 blocks that it sees. Basically anytime I'm in the way, it's gonna go. And that's really useful if you wanted to make like a hover vehicle, for example, which is one of the examples from the actual dev page. Basically, attach all that, drop it, so I can reposition that. And so let's say now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and next to each of these I want to put jet. Just doesn't have to be perfect. So from each of these sensors, I'll run into the jet closest, otherwise you're going to have a hell of a time. And then when I delete this, ooh, obviously the balance is way off, but you get the idea. It's going to float. A bigger one's going to work better. One that's more separated between the jets. These are just too close right now. They're just yeah, maybe a bit more weight. That's a bit ridiculous. But that's the idea of that. And then the difference between these two here is if I hit number 1, it's a switch. It's either on or it's off. That's it. Number 2, I have to hold. So anytime I let go of the button, it's going to stop. So if I can get my friend on here, we can show you our flying vehicle, because he has ones that operate with buttons. And these buttons don't have to be with you. They can be underneath the vehicle. They can be anywhere you want, out of view. So it doesn't have to be something that's going to make your design look crappy. I mean, it can't look any worse than this, right? I turn 1 on and push 2. Again, 2 only works when I'm pushing it. If I had somebody standing next to me, they'd have the other 2 going. We could propel ourselves forward. Wouldn't do much. We'd probably just barrel into the ground and flip over, but gives you an idea of how things work. A lot of this game is figuring out balance, especially with flying vehicles, balancing your vehicles out. With our flying vehicle, we both have full controls. My left and right actually control pivots on these engines. So I can show you what I mean. Whereas his left and right just control buttons that just tilt the aircraft left and right. Whereas I turn, he tilts, and it keeps the aircraft balanced. Tried to make ailerons, but ailerons, whatever. But they don't actually do anything. There is no wind physics, obviously. I don't know what the hell I was thinking there, but. So basically, anytime we want to make a pivot, we're going to need a bearing. Something for the jet or what have you to spin on. So I'll put 2 in like this, and then I'm just going to draw up. Just to show you, I'll bring it up so you can see how it works. But you could do it right next to each other without having to bring it up if you just make sure you click and drag in one motion. That works, but if I went and then boom like that, it wouldn't work. This would only spin. So that's why I brought it up this way. Now I can attach onto here, and let's stick some jets on. So from our driver's seat, let's look into number 1, look into number 2. Actually, let's one. I'm just going to hook into both jets. And then to do left and right, again, we just take it from the driver's seat into a bearing. So here's our bearing. So now when I hop in the driver's seat, so I'm hitting right, so it's obviously backwards again. It's always backwards, I don't know why. So there, now I hit right, I hit left, hit number 1, turns them on. I could also do a variation on that, where say I used buttons for number 1 and number 2. They could tilt it up and down. That's one way to get a bit more control out of your back jets. It's going to be this because it's a little confusing right now. And don't worry, it's creative mode. Jets don't kill you. So there's just some basics. I'll show you more with the controller later as I do some actual projects with nobody here and all that. But right now, this is should help you. If you have any questions, feel free to post or ask away. Twitter, do whatever you want. I'll try and answer anything or show you anything you want. One thing we were working on our other server, on our locally hosted server, was a spider. It's a big spider. But to make that actually work, I need to really use controllers and really think through the angles of everything. Right now, it's kind of just makes it looks hilarious, but it's not really working right. So, yeah, that's that, and hope you guys enjoyed.